What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Making Podcasts Great Again. I am your tech stuff guy, Jay Nog, and we are here, of course, with the President of the United States of America and Mar-a-Lago, the gloating Mr. Donald J. Trump. Mr. President, how are you today?
We're very strong. We're feeling, Tiffany's visiting. If you can hear her in the background,
I do.
Tiffany,
She sounds angry.
because she's always, oh, I'm a Trump, and I say, go back to the doghouse, please. Very ugly, that one. The kids, you always see the genetics, the true genetics, because as you know, I'm very superior genetics. But Marla Maples, I thought, okay, this is a hot piece of ass. She obviously had a lot of work done because when that Tiffany came out, it looked sort of like Marla Maples had been hit in the face with a Picasso and all, droopy and very strange. I call it Picasso face. That's what I call Tiffany when she visits. I go, I'm not calling you Trump. I can tell you. But no, I'm feeling
That's
very
not nice
strong.
to say that about your daughter, Mr. President.
I would never say that about Ivanka. I think we know very well what I think of Ivanka. She's the opposite of Picasso. She's, I don't want to. I'd like to throw something in her face, but it's certainly not a painting.
I
So,
understand.
yeah, well, it's a strong family. The point is, I'm feeling great because we're getting a little bit closer to maybe announcing something that will be very strong for the show, for our fans, great supporters, and most importantly, for our country.
Now, Mr. President, you're in the spotlight, and you really can't. There aren't many secrets about you, and you're telling dinner guests at Mar-a-Lago when you're running around and you run into people. You're telling them that you're running for president in 2024. Isn't that against the rules? Aren't you not allowed to do that? Like make public statements like that?
What they're trying to say, first of all, they're private statements. And what they're trying to say is, I'm suggesting, I said, wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if maybe we had a strong president in the Oral Office again? Wouldn't that be great? And instead, if I'm the person that needs to get the job done, then of course I would run again. Okay. But I'm not officially saying it. I'm simply saying that I might run because I'll destroy Sleepy Joe because there won't be fraud this time. There won't be voter fraud. So when I'm having dinner conversation, I say casually, I'm definitely running for president, but I'm not announcing it because we don't want to do the fundraising requirements and file with the government. Hypothetically,
Okay. You refer to it as the oral office. It's isn't it the Oval Office?
or whatever shape she makes with her mouth, it's you want to do oval. If you have a weird sort of, I don't know what kind of penis would need an oval like mouth. Like very tall and thin
I
penis,
understand.
like a very penis has a lot of height but not a lot of girth. I don't
Girth.
know. So Garth Brooks, remember him? Great country singer. Became a little radical left, but had some good songs. Shania Taint, remember her?
I think her name's Shania Twain.
Well, and then there's Mike Pence's favorite country music group, the Dixie Chicks.
Now, Mr. President, I wanted to ask you what you thought of the Delta variant, this new COVID strain that is running through our country. The infections are going up.
It's a shame, we didn't have any Delta variant when I was president. I think you remember that. There was no Delta variant. And it comes from my friend Nathan Modi in India. And, I told him a joke. I said to Nathan, I said, it's targeting your country like a sniper putting a red dot on everybody's forehead, and it's coming very strongly, that Delta, very targeted like a sniper, but with great religious respect.
How did he respond to you saying a sniper with a red dot on his forehead?
Something about 7-Eleven and yeah, I don't know.
No.
You know, never forget, 7-Eleven, very respectful. Tiffany, by the way, I'm sorry if the people, I'm not really sorry. I'm sorry in sort of a polite way, but not true sorry. Tiffany is really causing a mess outside. That's why we don't let her sleep inside at Mar-a-Lago. We say, get out there and you gotta do your business out on the lawn.
That's horrible.
I agree. She is horrible. Picasso face, Tiffany.
Now you did say that that people don't trust the Biden administration, and that's why
No,
people
there's no
won't,
trust.
and that's why people won't take the vaccine, and that's why this Delta variant strain is just spreading through our nation.
The the thing about the Biden administration, okay, it's like we created a beautiful business called Warp Speed. Okay, so we got these great vaccines faster than anybody thought. Nobody thought we could. I thought it, but not a lot of other people thought it. They didn't think we could get this, and we did. And all of a sudden, remember what happened to Apple? They had Steve Jobs, and he
Yes.
created everything, and then they fired him, and the whole company went to shit.
I don't know if he was
and they had to
fired, but
they had to bring him back. And all of a sudden, they started doing iPhones and iPads and cancer. Everything was going very strongly when he came back. And that's kind of like where we are. I'm the Steve Jobs, except stronger and healthier and smarter, of the vaccines. I'm the Steve Jobs of the vaccines. And Sleepy Joe is like whatever loser took over Apple when they got rid of Steve Jobs and totally fucked everything up. And eventually the country may say, we need Trump jobs back. And then I'll show up and I'll put the vaccine in an iPod and give it to everybody.
kind of like what U2 did, where you get their album on the iPad.
Who?
Well, I think for iPhones, they did a deal. U2, they were a band.
Well, what about me?
I'm not saying U2.
You as well, tech stuff guy.
I'm saying U2, like the letter U and the number 2.
Well, it'd be nice if you'd put a sir after you say you two, sir, not you two like we're best buddies, which we are not, by the way.
I'm talking about the band U2. I'm not saying like you.
No, I know. Excuse me. I know I've been banned from Twitter and from Facebook. Okay, I don't know why we're going over this again. Yes, I've been banned, and if you keep this up, you too will be banned.
Okay. I'm just going to stop now. Now, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki, I think that's how you pronounce her name, even though there's a P at the beginning. The P is silent.
This is the stupid left. Oh, it's a coup. No, it's called a coup. Okay, we're not French. We pronounce peas in America. And
So
we also eat peas, with carrots sometimes. And that's the way I like to meet prostitutes. I say, let's have some pea and you can have my carrot. But the Jen, we call her, behind her back, we call her redheaded Psaki.
Okay.
Which almost sounds like, sort of Asian. Psaki.
We're going to get to Asian later. But
Oh, me too. I think that's at the Mar-a-Lago brothel. It's Monday. We call Monday Mongolian Whore Night.
wait,
Mongolian Mondays.
Mongolian Mondays at Mar-a-Lago. Mar-a-Lago has their own brothel. I did not know that.
No, well, we're politically correct. We call it Mandarin Mondays, and they come in and deep tissue massage with a very strong happy ending.
That sounds delightful. Now, Jem Psaki, as you say,
Psaki
said that she welcomes a
Sorry, Steven Tyler is coming for Tyler Thursdays. He's performing at Mar-a-Lago this week. So
is there a theme every single night in Mar-a-Lago?
Every night.
Do you mind if we go through them, or is it too much?
Oh, we got Mandarin Mondays.
Yep.
We have Taco Tuesdays.
Of course.
Where we women who look like Salma Hayek come out and we eat their tacos.
Okay.
We have Women Wednesdays, which is a very respectful honoring of women, and it's completed with a Roger Stone's wife comes, and many men honor her. And each week we try to add a man to show her more honor. Tyler Thursdays, which I just explained,
Of course.
Aerosmith themed. A lot of the time we have Love in an Elevator, as you know, which is one of their songs. And Janie's Got a Gun, of course, which is strong Second Amendment. We have Fucking Fridays, where we have powerful sex with, like remember the show movie Goodfellas? Saturday was for the wives, Friday was for the girlfriends. So
Yes.
Friday, it's melatonin finds a way to someplace else. Saturday is called Sucky Saturdays. You can probably imagine what that is. Where we have new members who want to join the club. They send their hottest daughter to finish the application process on Sucky Saturdays. And on Sunday, we have great church service.
I would love to stay at Marl. There's a lot of activities going on there. That sounds like a good time.
And shuffleboard as well.
That's good. That's nice. Stay fit, of course. Now, going back to Jen Psaki, she actually
Psaki!
and everyone at the White House welcomes a PSA from you.
You know what the first three letters of Psaki are?
PSA.
PSA. I think we know what that she's really the message she's sending is I think Psaki wants to fucky Donnie. Okay, bars. You've got to, I don't know, tech stuff. I know you're married. You're probably out of the game, but I don't let marriage stop me from working on my game. And Psaki is sending a message. She's like, I would love for President Trump to give a little PSA. And I'd say, I will give some PSA to Psaki's pussy. How's that sound?
So you think her?
I don't think I know.
Okay, you know that her asking you to do a PSA for the COVID vaccine is really code.
If you were at a party, okay,
yes,
and Jen Psaki comes up to you with her red hair and her actually decent breasts. I mean, she's no AOC or Pelosi, but she's she's like a good second tier Democrat breast. If Psaki comes up to you at a party and you've got like a nice cocktail, I don't drink because I'm not weak, but if you've got a cocktail and she says, I'd like a PSA, I'd be like, well, then you're gonna get a PSA.
So you think it's more sexual, less
it is
COVID vaccine?
It's totally sexual. It is completely sexual.
Okay, so let's say you're
when
right.
I get that feeling, I need Psaki healing.
Okay. Now let's say for some reason, I doubt you're wrong. So let's just make up this.
I know we got a respectful tech stuff guy for once.
Let's make up this fantasy situation.
Might actually pay the bill this week.
Appreciate that. Now let's say they want you to speak about the vaccine for COVID. Would you make not a PSA, but would you make an announcement of video for TV / the internet?
Like a sex tape with Psaki?
No. Like just you. And just tell everyone to get vaccinated.
Just solo content?
No, not solo. This is nothing, Mr. President. This is nothing sexual right now.
Well,
this is for COVID.
Excuse me. You've seen my supporters? I show up anywhere. The heat gets turned up. It's always a little bit sexual when I'm in the room.
Yes, I agree. But would you make an announcement to your supporters to get vaccinated?
Here's what I would do. That's a good question, tech stuff.
Okay.
I don't trust the Biden administration to do a good job. So I would tell my supporters, as soon as I am president again in 2025, maybe even sooner if Sidney Powell gets it done. Get vaccinated when you have a president who you trust to do it right. So I think that's a good message.
Yes, but let's say our country falls apart from people not getting vaccinated, and besides this Delta variant, there are other different mutations of the virus, and then this virus gets stronger and stronger and stronger. We're actually
Wait till we get the Spirit Airlines variant. That'll kill the crap out of the country.
You're not nervous that this can get out of control in 2 years?
No, I'm extremely nervous because I don't trust the Sleepy Joe administration. This is what I'm saying. The Delta variant, I think, as soon as they kicked me out of office when they stole the election, the Delta variant said, "Sir, where are you going?" And I said, "We don't want a civil war, even though we would win it strongly because we have bikers for Trump." And Delta variant said, "Well, sir, I respect you, but I don't respect Sleepy Joe. So I'm going to destroy the world now." That's what the Delta variant said to me.
I didn't know the Delta variant can talk. That's
Well, I
amazing.
didn't. Of course, you don't know that. You don't have my high IQ.
I agree with that. I don't have your high IQ. So, um, I just, if the Delta variant gets out of control and millions of people die, you may not have a country to run in 2 years. And you made this vaccine, right? You're the one who worked so hard and got this vaccine out. So wouldn't you be proud of this vaccine that you created and want people to get vaccinated since it has your name on it?
Well, it doesn't have my name on it. They call it Moderna and Pfizer. They should be calling it Trump.
They should, but everybody knows you're responsible. So why wouldn't you want people to get vaccinated with this vaccine you're responsible for?
Under my administration, doctors, they knew how to give shots. But under Sleepy Joe, it doesn't matter if the medicine's good. Sleepy Joe doctors, they'll shoot the needle in your penis. They don't know what the hell they're doing.
I didn't know that.
Under my administration, the doctors would say, "Sir, we're going to put it right in your shoulder in the proper spot." You walk into a Sleepy Joe doctor, they're putting it in your ass, they're putting it in your ear, and it's a total nightmare. It's a complete mess what's going on right now.
All right. Well, now, Mr. President, you were saying we're talking about COVID about a couple of minutes ago, and I just also wanted to bring up the Olympics are coming up. I think they start next week. It's in Japan with your boy Shinzo. I know you were invited. We don't know if you're a 100% going. You said you might, you may not. I don't know if you're going to go now because athletes are getting COVID there. So
And
COVID is
they're not as fit as me. Isn't that sad? These world famous athletes, not as strong as Trump.
people vaccinated are getting COVID still because of this Delta variant and because that not as many people as we thought are getting vaccinated. So I guess the vaccinations aren't as strong, or there's different strains now. Now,
It's called the Sleepy Joe effect.
don't you want to protect Shinzo?
Oh shit! Let me tell you something.
Did you speak to him about this?
I spoke to Shinzo. I think Delta needs to be protected from Shinzo. Shinzo does not play with COVID, because Shinzo got sick. That's why he had to resign. And he thought it was great dishonor that he had to resign because of health. So he has been taking care very strongly of his health. And we spoke on the phone, and I said, "Shinzo, how are you feeling about the Olympics?" And he said, "Delta variant is fuck." He never uses bad language, but he says, "Is fucking up my Olympics." And I said, "Well, you got to fight fire with fire, Shinzo." And he said he actually had some Delta variant cells and like a microscope. And he took a samurai sword, and I heard him on the phone, and he said, Go to hell, Delta variant. And he sliced them in half with a very sharp sword. And that Delta variant, I could hear it crying like a dog. And this is why Shinzo is such a strong friend of mine. He's so tough, so proud, and so tough, but loyal. And I think those are great traits.
I think it's amazing he could slice cells with a samurai sword. That is, I never heard of anyone doing that.
You sliced the crap out of them, and you should have had the Delta cells where they were crying like dogs.
So, are you going to make a trip to the Olympics now, knowing that there's Delta variant spreading around and more COVID infection?
I'm leaning towards no, even though I would like to support my friend Shinzo, because he informed me very importantly that in addition to a lot of the restrictions, the sex workers will not be, available.
I understand that. Well, if you change your mind,
Sucky Saturdays at Mar-a-Lago will have to do.
Now, also, I forgot to tell you, Mr. President, some good news. We are doing another live episode this month for our Perfect 10 Q&A, and it's going to be on a different night. We usually do it on Thursday nights, but this month we are doing it on July 27th. It's the live Q&A for the Perfect 10, July 27th.
That's a Taco Tuesday. I might be eating tacos.
Yes.
Selma Hayek looking taco. You might not want to bring the kids to that that live episode.
Well, it's going to be Tuesday, July 27th, 8 p.m. Eastern time, and that is for the Perfect 10 Patreon Patriots. There'll be a Q&A, maybe a special guest.
Otto the dog's first official presidential Patreon.
Episode. Yes, it's going to be very exciting. I'd like to see how Rudley reacts to this, if he's butthurt or he's supportive.
He's probably going to riot and loot.
Well, let's hope not. And Tom Fitzgerald, still a VP, might be a little sour about it, but we're going to speak to him also.
But he's no Mike Pence. He's a real VP.
Yes, he is a real VP for sure. Now,
and obviously this week, the good news is that this week people will be getting the regular bonus episode, not the live, but the bonus for all Patreons will go up this week. And then on Sunday night, they will get Rotten Oranges, where the 2 reviews will be African American Widow and Black Basketball Astronauts 2.
You mean Space Jam 2?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing those. Now, Mr. President, former Vice President Mike Pence, we have spoken on this podcast. Is he going to be your running mate if you run in 2024? And I recently read that Pence is losing support from the Republicans. I've also read in a new book coming out that on the January 6th peaceful protest, Mike Pence did not want to leave with the Secret Service because he didn't trust the Secret Service that they would protect him, which is very scary.
Well, it is because, I was that close to getting him killed and he didn't get in. I give him credit. I told those Secret Service, some of them are very strong MAGA guys. I said, if Mike Pence leaves with you, make sure he never comes back. Hint, hint, kill him. So, I give Pence a little bit of credit there for being smarter than he looks, because he looks so stupid with that stupid grin. Mike Pence, you show up with a limousine of men in suits. You figure Mike Pence is definitely going to dive in. It's raining men, but he showed great restraint.
Well, there was, I think, an Iowa congressman called him the Antichrist, and if he's not being supported by the Republicans, who are you going to pick?
Well, we used to call him, that's funny that he called him the Antichrist, because we used to call him the Anal Christ. because he was very anal retentive about putting
Yes.
things up his butt.
Now, since you heard this news, I know you keep saying he's your guy and he's loyal to you, even though you've had some problems with him. Could we possibly see a different running mate? DeSantis from Florida, people are saying, but you're saying you own Florida, you have Florida, so why, what is he of use to you? Can it be any of these? Can it be your CrossFit? Um, what's the CrossFit lady's name?
Oh, Dog the Bounty Hunter Green.
Yes, talk the bounty hunter Green. Could she possibly be a running mate? Because I think having a woman there could really help you out.
We want a woman who looks like a woman, so that's maybe not the greatest choice. Georgia is a very important state, but I think I'd be leaning more in a Pennsylvania, Michigan sort of area, trying to win one of those states. No, and as I said, I think last week or the week before, we're putting out contests, uh, beauty pageants, and things like that to find out who's the hottest, dumbest Republican woman in Pennsylvania and Michigan, and then we will pick one of them.
Okay, that works. We had your former lawyer Rudy Giuliani on last week, and some news came out in this new book that a lot of books are coming out about you, and it says
They can't quit Trump because they make so much money when they write
I agree
about
with
me.
you. I agree. When they write about you, they cash in for sure. Now, it says when you were debating Biden during the running for the presidency, your advisors gave Rudy Giuliani the wrong time for the debate prep because Rudy wanted you to make more personal attacks on Hunter Biden, and your advisors did not think that was the smartest thing, so they gave him the wrong time to show up. Did you know this, that they gave him the wrong time to show up?
I did, and Tiffany is upset about that. I did because, at some point, Rudy Giuliani was loyal and had some talent, but we realized he was sort of a loser at that point. And, I sort of had grown to respect Hunter Biden a little bit. He was like a cooler version of Don Jr.
Why
So I
is that?
kind of respect. Well, he was, he did coke out in the open, unlike Don Jr. pretends to not do coke. Hunter
Okay.
Biden was, banging strippers at elite strip clubs, and Don Jr. was sleeping with Kim Gargoyle. And Don Jr. is that weak chin, and Hunter sort of looks stronger. I think Hunter would kick the crap out of Don Jr., if we can be honest. So, I was tired of beating up on Hunter Biden. I thought it was a good political strategy, but Giuliani, with his fat orange son, who are you to talk about other people's kids?
See, I find that strange because you love personal attacks, and for you to restrain yourself
I
from.
wasn't restraining it. We had a better strategy. We were going to go right after Sleepy Joe.
Mhm.
So it wasn't. Of course, I love personal attacks, but I opted for a different strategy. And Rudy was like a one-track mind. He just Hunter Biden, Hunter Biden.
I also find it odd that when you were president in the White House, we would hear or read something about you every single day in the news. And Sleepy Joe, you don't even hear about him. He flies under the radar.
So sleepy.
Same, everyone in his administration. There's no one who makes the news.
Tiffany, you're not welcome back at Mar-a-Lago.
I don't know. I don't know what Tiffany is so upset about.
Somebody probably called it a fat Miley Cyrus again. That's why we had to stop calling Mondays Miley Mondays.
I got it. But also, Rudy Giuliani was a man in your corner a guy who was really helping you out. I'm surprised that you gave him the wrong time and kind of shunned him, because in the press he always looked like a bosom buddy of yours, and you just tell him the different time and have a different strategy. Why wouldn't you tell him, like, we're not doing that, but you can still come to this meeting? Because apparently your advisors thought that he would, I don't know, have an effect on what you were going to do during the debate.
Tiffany just wanted to say hi to Daddy.
But I find it strange, Mr. President, that people who you talk so fondly of 1 minute, you can talk about them in total opposite. You'll love them 1 minute and hate them the next.
Well,
Or
right now with this questioning, you're a huge piece of shit. Before I thought you were doing a strong job, and now you're a total scumbag asking too many questions about Judy Giuliani.
I'm
We
just
should
wondering why, if he was your lawyer and he was helping you out and he was like your right hand man for a lot of it towards, the end, why you would shun him and not have him come to the meeting. Why don't you just tell him, like, hey, we're not going to do this attack on him if you knew about this and it wasn't just your advisors telling him not to come?
Who?
All right. Now, there's a Vanity Fair article that just came out. I don't know if you read it, but in the Vanity Fair article, you were
Well,
bragging.
I used to be a strong subscriber to Vanity Affair.
Okay,
Which
what is
was
what is
it was
that publication?
it was a great exclusive place to find escorts.
It was like the original Craigslist and Backpage before they came out.
It was more classy. It was more like Ashley Madison in magazine form.
Does Ashley Madison still exist?
Oh, it exists.
Okay, all right. Do you know about these sugar daddy websites? Would you ever entertain that?
You mean more than I do?
I mean, like, actually go on these websites and have these sugar babies, unless you are a part of this. And
You
this is
mean
one
more
thing.
than I do?
Okay, well, we don't have to discuss it. I'm sorry for blowing up your spot. So this Vanity Fair article, you brag about Mar-a-Lago to the journalists who are covering you, and then you said a quote about the January 6th, the rioters, or as you call it, the peaceful protest. You were quoted saying, "What I wanted is what they wanted." Now, wouldn't you disagree? I understand what they wanted, the election turned over to you, and they think there was fraud. I understand that.
And
But
Mike Pence murdered. Don't forget that. They also wanted
right.
that.
But you've never said anything about how they went about it, and it wasn't the right way to go about it. You keep defending these rioters. You defend the woman who was shot and killed. You defend them. um,
Ashley Babbitt, say her name.
Ashley Babbitt. You defend people going into the building, and people pooped on desks and urinated at different places.
Oh, but the
And
bathroom codes in there are impossible to remember. It's like Chipotle.
I don't think you can take a dump on someone's desk or pee in a desk drawer, or do it. You do your business in the bathroom, but people were not doing
I was
that.
saying the bathroom codes were too complicated.
What was so complicated?
It's yeah, it's not like they leave it out for people to see. It's like, what's the code? Oh, everybody's hiding under their desks. I don't know where to find a code. I guess
Oh,
I'll take a dump in Pelosi's desk.
so the bathroom codes, no one can give the bathroom code out, so people just did their business wherever they wanted. Okay, they must have really
Yep.
had to go.
Yeah, big steamy pile of patriotic poop.
Okay, that's fine. So there's you still defending the rioters until the day you die.
which will be about 500 years from now.
That's right. Are you part
Maybe even
cyborg
longer.
yet?
Oh,
Okay. Would you do that, Mr. President? I know probably the next step for technology is to integrate humans with technology. Would you become part technology and part robot? Would you have electronics
like
put
I
into your brain?
like could I be Twitter,
Yes,
but I also get to grab breasts?
of course.
Okay, I would do that.
You can beat Twitter and still grab breasts. You'd
Trump,
be down.
Twitter, titties. The three T's.
The triple T. I have a few pop culture things I wanted to ask you about that has nothing to do with politics. Just
I'll
to
make
hear
it a
your
lightning
opinion.
round because I have
Yes.
my McDonald's is
We're
arriving shortly.
Now, you are not into being disrespected at all, and you really grind an axe with people who disrespect you. Aaron Rodgers of the Green Bay Packers, quarterback, they drafted Jordan Love. We've talked about this once on the podcast in the first round, and he then won MVP. Now he is returning back to the Green Bay Packers. Would you return back to the Packers after a team disrespects you like that?
I would, and I'll tell you why.
Tell me.
I'm going to return to the White House, even though the fake news and the Democrats totally disrespected me, and more importantly, they disrespected our country. It's called a country, and they totally disrespected it. So I would return if I were if I were uh, Roger Aaron. I
Okay.
would I would return to the Packers, insist that everybody call me sir, and I would find that backup quarterback and murder him in front of everybody.
Okay, that's one way to deal with it. The next piece of news, Tiger King. We've talked about Tiger King before. We've actually had Tiger King on from prison. They are making a series about Tiger King. Will you watch the series, and what are your thoughts on it?
I'd have to see if it was, done by strong conservative actors, like a John Voight as Tiger King, because if it's a bunch of radical left actors who won't portray great patriots like gay Tiger King as a great patriot, then I don't think I'd want to watch that.
I think one of the actresses, I think Melissa McCarthy, is playing.
She seems like she might be radical left.
I think so too. So you're not going to watch the show then.
I don't know if I would watch that.
Okay. And the last piece of news I wanted to ask you about, very, very famous WWE wrestler. I know you're in the WWE Hall of Fame, so I wanted to ask you this. John Cena, very popular wrestler. He
Did
returned.
you see how he apologized to China for his stupid movie? He was so weak on China.
I did not see how he apologized to them.
He said something about Taiwan, and then all of a sudden he came out and said, I was ignorant. I'm sorry I said that it's a separate place than China, one China. But they were very tough on him. And for all his muscles, he was so weak.
So you don't like him because of that?
I like people who stand up to China. Okay. He might as well have been Hunter Cena.
Don't you? I just find it strange where he's a movie star now, very, very big star. Don't you think the WWE is lower than him, since he, like, you would never see The Rock go
Oh,
back to WWE?
The Rock has gone back to
Not
WWE.
recently though.
Yes, recently, because I think he respects where he came from.
So you take that as
You make a special appearance. You don't
okay.
you don't become a regular cast member. I would go back to WWE as a strong Hall of Famer.
Well, John Cena, I think he's going to make multiple appearances now. I think he's going to be fighting for the belt. I think he's going
Oh
back
well,
in.
but like I said, unlike me and The Rock, who are strong Hall of Fame talents, Cena is weak on China, weak on movies, and has to make these appearances.
Understand that. So you would make a guest appearance, but you would not be a regular, since you're a
No,
Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer / president. Not
Gotcha.
too many of those walking around.
Definitely not. Now, Mr. President, I appreciate your time once again this week. I know you're a busy man with all these special days at Mar-a-Lago. It's hard to get away. I just want to thank you again for coming on. Also, just to remind our listeners, on the 27th, that is a Tuesday night, July 27th, Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. We are doing the live Q&A for the Perfect 10 Patreon Patriots. Join the Patreon. So much bonus material. Patreon.com/MPGA. That's patreon.com/MPGA. Join whatever level fits you, but the best level is the Perfect 10 level. And also, everyone, thanks who I saw who came out this past weekend for Comics Mohegan Sun. I'm going to do one more date in Connecticut, and that is July 31st at City Steam. It's in Hartford at 8 p.m. So come on down for that. And we appreciate all the listeners. And Mr. President, any special announcements to make?
Well, I think this week's bonus episode, which is for every Patreon person, you have to be Perfect 10 to hear the great Mike Lindell episode, but a favorite of tech stuff guy Fred Nog, I believe Mike Pence is going to make his case because he was told, I just got news via Parler. Mike Pence is going to be doing the bonus episode. He wants a chance to defend himself.
Oh my goodness.
So, cover up your asshole, tech stuff guy, because Pence is doing the bonus this week for all our Patreons. So if you're not a Patreon person, you can join at the lowest level, and you can join at the bottom level, and you'll get the bottom of the vice presidency, the power bottom himself, big gay Mike Pence.
Are there any other announcements before we go?
Oh, hey guys, the president just left. It's JL. Obviously the Boston show, but any of our listeners in Philadelphia, Raleigh, North Carolina, or New York City, please check my calendar, jlcomedy.com. And as always, give my other podcast a chance too, if you're so inclined. Righteous PK podcast, available same places as this one. And I think beyond that, no, that's it. So thank you for listening, everybody. Thank you for the support. August, you will have your opportunity to order your Idaho Militia Christian t-shirt in August. So look forward to that, and God help us all.